Today we are going to learn the imperative mood, which you might know better as just commands. How do you tell someone to do something in the Latin language? And the nice thing about this topic is that hopefully it's not totally unfamiliar, because although you may not have been understanding what I was saying, I've actually used the imperative mood in class many times this year. And told you to do many things, and you did them, whether or not you understood that we were using the imperative mood or not. So your understanding of this concept is already pretty strong in terms of your ability to hear it and know what the goal of it is. So I've sprinkled some examples here of common imperatives I've used in class, but let's put this in a better format and see if you can remember what they mean. So a little pop quiz on some of the common commands I say in class to see if you know what they mean. So why don't you pause the video for a second and try and do these on your own, and then we'll come back together. All right, here they are. Aspicita me. Look at me. Right, I'll set it up at the board if you guys are working on something and I want us to bring us back together. Aspicita me. Aspicita me. At the beginning of class, I will often say intra or intrate. If I want you guys were changing gears, aperite libros. I added a vestros in here because we've recently studied these. So now from now on, I might say aperite libros vestros. Open your books, plural, because I'm talking to the whole class, not just one person, so I wouldn't use tuos. Stand. Petite tabulas, when I want you to go grab those little whiteboards. Audite me. That one I've had to say probably too many times in class this year. Sede or sedete. Sawete was the very first imperative we learned, and you might not have known it was imperative. We say it all the time. What we're really saying is be in good health. It was also the greeting that the Romans used for each other. And remember, if you might remember from the very beginning of class, the difference between when we would say salve versus when we say salvete. If you do, that's going to be really key. And try and we'll reflect on that in a moment. Finally, claudite libros, close your books. Again, it would be claudite libros vestros, to be very specific. And then tacete, which is be quiet, or take. So going back to salve versus salvete, try and remember, when would I use one versus the other? All right. Hopefully, you may remember that we would use salve if I was talking to one person, and salvete if I was talking to two people. And that's the same thing we do with all imperatives. Okay, we add a te on it to make it plural. But let's look at how we know what vowel to use. Because as we saw in those, we saw some ate endings, right, or a endings. We saw some et with omicron endings. We saw some ite endings, aspicite or audite, right here. And so now we're going to get a clearer sense of why we see all those endings if they're all commands. It's because it depends on what conjugation we are. Are we first conjugation, second conjugation, third IO, or fourth? And the really nice thing about imperatives are that they're very typical usages. They're very straightforward forms. All we have to do is we go to the second principal part, whether that be ambulare, videre, ponere, capere, or audire, and all we do is we chop off the re. Chop off the re to get the singular. Ambula, walk, to one person, if I'm talking to one person. Vide, see, if I'm talking to one person. Pone, put. Cape, take, capture. And audi, listen, hear. Okay? So that is all our singular imperatives, and the really nice thing is we don't have to worry about any changes in vowels. Even the weak E in the third conjugation sticks around in the singular. We just chop off the RE, and then we got our imperative. In the plural, it is almost the same exact rule, except for we add on a TE, the one exception being that third conjugation plural. Pone actually becomes ponete, and cape becomes capite for both the third and the third IO. But everything else, all we have to do is add a TE. So not too crazy of a rule to remember. We can also tell someone not to do something, right? That's often more important. Don't do this. So, and in order to do that, that's also even actually, believe it or not, simpler than telling someone than the formation rules we use to tell someone how to do something. And that is noli plus the infinitive of the verb to tell someone not to do something. And nolite, we see that te again, telling us it's the plural. Nolite plus the infinitive if I want to tell a group of people not to do something. So I have some over here. Nolite stare would mean don't stand. Noli adere casam, very important to warn people not to do. Anyone? Don't burn the house. And notice I'm telling just one person that because it's noli. And this last one, nolite discedere. We haven't learned this word yet. Discedere means to leave. So nolite discedere means don't leave. And am I talking to one person or two people here? Two people, or well, one or more person, more than one person, I should say, because there's a te, right? Nolite discedere. All right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to go to page Aperite libros vuestros and go to page Duo centum urgenti et tres. And you're going to do exercise 1 on that page. And what you want to do, I did number 1, so we can do that together and make it easy. You're going to see something like pugnare in the plural, and then you just have to make it imperative in whatever number is requested, right? So here I need to make a plural imperative with pugnare. I'm going to look at it, say, oh, that are, that infinitive tells me that pugnare is first conjugation. That means I know I can just chop off the e, re, and get pugna for the singular, tell one person to fight, or I could tell multiple by adding a te, right? So maybe an exhortation a general would give his men on the battlefield of Rome. Pugnate! Hope this was helpful and not too difficult, and we'll talk about it in our next class. All right, have a great rest of your day.